too old to be doing shit like that. These ugly guys can't go to the Oh, yeah. Have we started? Yeah. Welcome back, adventurers. My name is Eli, the Game Master, and this is a good day to die. Last we left off, so scrambled. Last we left off, where did we start last time? To get to where we were. Last we left off, the group was in the Merkin tent. There, they had played a dice game for the life of Alamon. They had succeeded. His soul was released from the soul well. Excuse me, I'm out of breath. I'm just really excited. His soul was released from the soul well. He was like, thanks a lot. I'm out of here. They told him that the black blood was back. Haha, I said it right that time. And he was like, what? He had revealed some very important plot points from previous past sessions of his life. And had told the group that there is a friend that could help them navigate through the dream world, help them get back to the material plane, and help them get whatever Captain Grath is keeping in the hold of the paradox. His name is Baku, or its name is Baku.
That's not his name, though.
It's a Baku. It is a Baku. The group had identified as a tiny flying pachyderm with claws for feet, a tiger-like tail, little wings, and a trunk with 2 tusks. To get to where Baku is, they would have to shift through the dream world, through the dreamscape. So a dream within a dream. So we're inceptioning this. He had allowed everybody to seep into it, and I have let everybody roll for initiative on where they're going to start out in their dreams. We gave like a small hint of how it's all going to play out last time, but now we're going to dive right into it. And to flip the script here, I am going to start with the lowest initiative and move my way up.
Oh, man.
Yeah! Get effed. Where technically Amos or Damon had rolled lowest on the initiative score. We're not doing that. We're skipping him. He doesn't get to play. Dr. Tone.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you're reversing the initiative order, but you're skipping the guy who's the lowest on the...
It's a reversal of the reversal.
I would have skipped him no matter where he was.
There's a reason.
There are raisins.
There's one
Where
of them.
cream leaves for no
One
reason.
Anywhere you want, man. The raisins have been in your heart the whole time.
That's a problem. That should be there. Get that checked out.
For no reason at all. You found yourself in a canyon. This canyon had a pathway of broken mirror shards that led to a black pyramid that was so dark and absorbed so much light that you couldn't see the defining edges of it, and it just looked to be a black triangle sitting in the middle of the desert. Canyon walls rise up to either side of you, and the sun is off to one side, casting a shadow over where you are now.
So, if I remember right, I said I'd taken to the wing and started flying. But before I did that, I would have inspected some of the mirror shards just to see if anything else my reflection.
Looking over the mirror shards, yeah, you just see yourself.
And you said that it looked like at one point they formed a pathway through this canyon?
Yes, it's as if at one point they were a waving kind of pathway of a solid mirror, but time, it seems, or something has left them shattered and in shards. As if all the pieces are there, just broken up, each one about the size of a flagstone.
I don't know why this is my first thought. Can I see if at one point it was a liquid that flowed through the canyon? Because I'm in the lowest part, and that's where the river would usually be.
Roll me knowledge engineering or a simple perception check.
I won't do a perception check.
Wow.
30.
Okay, so looking over it, kind of checking it out, something that you perceive is it's more walkway than river-esque. It does have very much that same way about it, but you also know this is the realm of dreams. Where you exist right now is another plane of existence within the mind sphere. It doesn't necessarily have to make sense.
More of a river or mirrors could mean symbolically something, but if it's just a walkway...
Symbolically, it is a pathway more than a river.
Okay.
So if it were to be a symbol, pathway. A path to walk that would reflect something that has been shattered.
Okay. I then proceed to take to the wing and fly, and I'm going to fly to the pyramid.
So you rise up into the air. After you break the canyon, you feel the searing heat of the desert sun wash over you.
I don't care about it.
No. The arid landscape beneath you, the wind blows and you can see the dunes kind of shifting as you start taking to the wing. You do see your reflection play out over the shards as you go. You get to the pyramid. It is probably 10 stories tall.
Yeah, and I would land about 30 feet from the base.
You land, the sand shifts gently beneath your feet. Even looking at the base of the pyramid, you see that there is no mounded dunes or sand around it. It is completely flat where you land. And then from the edge of where you are to the pyramid, the sand is completely flat. There's no shifting sands or mounds.
Can I kind of dig a little bit to see if there's maybe stone beneath the sand here?
As you do so, you kind of start to part the sand. The sand shifts between your fingers as you move it off to the side. It then pours through your fingers and begins to fill back in, creating a complete flat surface again.
Knowledge to see why that's happening?
Be knowledge the planes.
Okay. Nope. I don't even know where I'm at. I rolled a 2.
Oh.
I keep it on the 20 to load the dice, but yeah, it's a 2 plus 7, so 9.
So with a 9, you part the sand and it fills back in, and you're like, weird.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Can I kind of this time just walking? Because I'm assuming it took me about a minute to get to the pyramid, even flying. I will do a full lap, keeping that kind of same distance, and if I notice that the sand is flat, I'll stay just outside of that barrier, kind of walk around and see if I can find an entrance of some kind.
30 feet is the area.
Okay.
Again, as you circle the pyramid, it seems like that perfect triangle is following you. You don't get to a point where you see a corner of a pyramid. It is just a 10 or 100 foot tall blackened triangle that shifts. And no matter what angle you look at it from, it is that perfect triangle.
Well, I just got like late 90s games where everything was a 2D polygon, and they made it to where it followed the character in camera. Those are the vibes I'm getting from this. So if I do a full circle of the pyramid, I'm going to go and out loud, because I'm assuming I'm by myself, so I'm kind of talking to myself. I'm going to go, this is interesting, and then I approach the pyramid. Kind of if I get close enough to it without something happening, I'll reach out and kind of just lay a hand on it, just inspecting the stone itself.
So when you say that, the audio feedback you get is odd. Because when you speak directly in front of the pyramid, it's as if it absorbs your sound. So your sound is deadened. Your voice is deadened as you speak. As if the words are sucked out of the air and just...
Okay. I will stop talking to myself at that point. But yeah, so I approach, black chain hand, reach out and touch the stone.
You reach out and you realize it is not stone. Nor is it even solid. As you extend your hand, you see it vanish into a void. And you cannot see past where you have stopped. As if it has absorbed that entire portion of your arm.
Quickly pulling my hand back.
You feel no change, or more accurately, you don't feel anything. It's not numb, it's not tingling pins and needles. It's nothing.
Knowledge?
Big knowledge points.
Points again?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I did. That is a 21.
So with a 21, an object like this in a dream typically is a manifestation of fear of the unknown. To break a barrier and move past what is known. You said 21? You would also kind of have an understanding that maybe a walkway with a mirror is to be able to see yourself walking down a path. You understand the path that you're taking. The symbolism of the pathway being shattered means your perception of where you thought you were is now broken and your understanding is gone.
And not to take up time here, but like he takes a solid 5 minutes to kind of ponder what that means for him personally. So it's like a solid 5 minutes of him just staring into this void nothingness before he kind of realizes him being a learned man, the best way to learn something is kind of get stuck into it. So he just full confidence walks into the void.
As you ponder for a moment, never apologize for taking up time. Role play. You do you, my guy. You take that moment and you think, and you're just like, huh. And then you step into the void and it washes over you. And again, when you step in, you don't feel pressure beneath your hooves. You don't feel air wash over you. You don't feel anything. When you look down at yourself, you are just as illuminated as you have ever been. But the ground beneath you, the area around you and above, is void. There's nothing behind you, beneath you, in front or above. You seem to be simply standing in nothingness. And, unlike Sirenscape, it is completely silent. So much so that you can hear the fibers of your muscle as you move. You can hear your heart breathe. You can hear your heartbeat in your very breath as you stand there.
So as I enter, I would have held my breath just instinctively, not knowing what was happening. So I'd take a quick, just like a quick in and out, testing to see if breathing is still normal. And
it is, but again, you don't feel the air go into your lungs. You simply are breathing. And when you make the sound of in your head, because that's where it's coming from, it's loud, it's deafening, because it's the only sound. But once it leaves, it disappears into the void. That same deadening sound. The closest thing that Berta could associate this to is a senses deprivation chamber.
I command the rope to tie itself outside into the ground.
Nothing happens.
Do I have any of my equipment?
Yes. You have the rope.
Would this be another knowledge to planes to see where I would be, or is this just...
You could.
Alright, 12.
With a 12, what I will give you, the rope didn't do what you told it to, because it literally can't.
Okay.
It's as if you told it to go to the moon.
Right.
And it was just like, no.
So I kind of, once again, take that... It's like he's taking time to process all this sensory information, and kind of looking back, because he would walk straight into what he thought was the flat side of the pyramid, and he would try to walk towards where he thinks the center is.
As you do so, you have an idea of where it would be based on the dimensions of the pyramid. If it's 100 feet high, then a pyramid would be this wide. That would put the center of it this far. I would have to step this many paces.
And he does all of that.
You are a calculated creature. And you do what you assume to be right. You are still shooketh by the feeling that you're like, this should be the center. I think there is no indication. And you would know even with your dominant leg, it may have taken you a little off to veer to one side since you can't see any point. When you step into what you believe is the center, you hear a voice inside of your head. It's not an ethereal voice. It's not a booming, demanding voice. It's not a creepy voice. It's almost as if it's your thoughts. Whatever you think your thoughts sound like, it is that voice. But much more real than a thought.
Right.
And you hear it speak to you. It's not telepathic. It is speaking to you. Why did you step into the pyramid?
So I would out loud say, it is hard to know something without observing it.
You seek knowledge.
Always.
Why?
It's helped me before. It helps me now.
Do you find comfort in knowledge?
Yes.
What were you expecting to find?
Pausing for a couple minutes, thinking, you go, I wasn't expecting to find anything. Finding nothing was a surprise.
So you believe you have found nothing.
I believe I know nothing of the thing I have found.
Do you believe you have gained no knowledge then?
I would not say that. To know that there is something like this, which is ultimately nothing, is still something. I have eliminated other options it could be, and there's
Come back and play your favorite word puzzle.
Sorry.
Boys and friends just
Why do you do this every single time?
That wasn't even kind of a distraction. Yeah, Amos.
We are stoic professionals here.
I am so sorry, everyone.
That's what you get for playing video games while we're playing again.
And of course I broke my entire train.
How dare you?
I know the nothing I know the things I don't know. Ergo, or the things I know the things it isn't. Ergo, I know what it might be.
The known unknowns.
Correct. Yeah, I completely lost my train of thought.
Are you afraid of where you are?
More curious. Like, more so burningly curious. I know this is the dream world, everything is an allegory or it's some grander meaning and whatnot. But I do not fear the unknown. Mostly because the things I know are far scarier than anything I can unknow.
There is silence for a very brief period where you're like, next question, and then nothing comes to you. In that moment, you see a thin white line. It is simply there. You don't see it manifest or form. You don't see it glow or appear. Wherever you are looking, it is there suddenly, as if in a blink of an eye. And you're just like, this white line then widens and creates very much the dimensions of a door.
I cautiously approach it. Sort of inspect the door. More of looking for traps, but trying to figure out like where would this go, and those kind of questions pop up in my head.
You seek more knowledge about a change in your environment.
Well, of course.
Are you afraid of where the knowledge of your life will lead you?
It's a dangerous question. We have children here. It is a dangerous question. Or yes, I fear that I may find something more scary than that which I already know to be true. But when you know pain, suffering, fear as much as I do, that next step of fear is a hard thing to personify, to put a face, a look to put a feeling to.
You find comfort in the knowledge of your past experiences. You wear it like armor.
It's an apt description.
Then you have nothing more to fear.
I like do the thing I just did, narrow my eyes for a second, kind of pondering. I guess not, and then I just go to like open the door.
There is no open. It is just a
So
door.
I go to, I guess, push the door open.
When you press your hand, it fades into the white, into the juxtaposed abyss of the black void where you find yourself, into a stark white void.
And I almost subconsciously, I touched the pyramid, which was black with the black chained hand, and the door I touched with the gold chained hand.
On the other side, it feels hot. Uncomfortably hot for anything that's not you.
Of course. So, interesting. And I say out loud, and
Do you draw your hand back?
I kind of like from the wrist about, I leave a couple fingers and I go, interesting, and then I step through.
Next on the initiative list. We good? We good? Ragnar. You find yourself on a rainy road in the middle of the woods. You see, on the far end of this road, a tavern.
I go towards you.
Yeah, you do.
Doesn't even think, just goes.
No thoughts, only adventure.
Follow road, get a drink.
You open the door, and you are greeted by the sound of bargoers, tavern patrons. There's music, the smell of tobacco smoke, the clanking of glasses. You see that there's probably 24, maybe 36 people in here of various ages, races, just from wall to wall. Some are gambling, some are chatting, some are drinking, some are singing. And it looks like a very inviting and warm environment. The walls and floor are all made of worn wood. You see the trophies of hunted animals hanging above a roaring fireplace. You see chandeliers made from wagon wheels with candles all around the edges of them. And you see that there is a bartender, a halfling standing up on a platform that allows him to look eye to eye with medium-sized creatures. He has small glasses that rest on the end of his nose. black hair pulled back in a ponytail that hangs between his shoulder blades. And he has a very kind look on his face as he goes and he is serving just the patrons at the tavern. And it seems he is the only person behind the bar.
I will go up to the bar and wait to be acknowledged.
He steps up to you cleaning a glass and he looks at you. "Welcome, adventurer," he says in a very kind voice. He says, "And how are you doing today?"
Good. Can I get some, like, food and ale?
He says, "Of course." He says, "Of course, adventurer." He turns, he puts down a pint of ale. In the blink of an eye, as if he walked over, you like go to take a sip, and when you put it down, he lays down a plate in front of you. This plate is full of roasted vegetables, breads, and cheeses. And off to the side, you see 3 small sugar cookies.
Ooh, cookie. I eat a cookie.
It is sweet and delicious. You think you probably could have imagined something better in a magical room, but it's not bad. And he says, "Tell me, adventurer, what brings you here on such a loathsome night as this?"
First of all, do I know I'm in a dream?
Well, that's what Alamon said. This all seems very real. Roll me a will save.
23.
With a 23, you eat the sugar cookie, and it is sweet, and it is delicious. But very much like pinching yourself in a dream, it lacks what only reality can bring you. You are like, oh, it tastes as I expected it to taste. Nothing more, nothing less. I am making this taste this way. I imagine that fire is as warm as it is, because I am making it that way. Looking about, you realize that none of this is real. He isn't real, the food in front of you isn't real, nothing is real. But the area around you changes once you realize that. You're like, this isn't real. And very much like lucid dreaming in real life, the area changes. Just a little bit. The patrons are different, the same 2 people aren't there, the tables are rearranged, the chandelier is antlers now instead of a wagon wheel. You look and you see that there are 3 doors, one behind him, one on the far end of the bar, and one off to the side. The one off to the side reads restroom. The one behind him reads kitchen. The one on the far end of the bar says exit Ragnar only.
What's that door about?
Oh, that's for whenever you're ready to leave, adventurer. But don't feel rushed. You can stay here as long as you'd like.
But it doesn't matter how long I stay here other than maybe I'm passing, correct?
Well, if that's what you believe. You see, I believe that experiences are gained only what we gain from them. If you see that there's nothing to gain, then nothing will be gained. But if you feel like you have gained something, then you have gained something. So if you feel like being here is simply a waste of time, adventurer, he moves your plate off to the side. He lays down a tray with roasted meat put over a baked potato with different cheeses and spices, a half of thing of bread, and several blocks of cheese and grapes. He said, "But I suppose reality is what you make of it, adventurer." He refills your wine.
It is what I make of it. What I make of it is, I know I'm dreaming. I know none of this is real. I was told not to go in here. So I don't know what any of this entails. I think our best course of action is to either one, listen to you tell me, or I could leave. I'd like to see what you have to say before I leave.
Well, I only have opinions, adventurer. And if you're asking my opinion, I would say that real is relative. Are you awake? No, certainly not. Is what you're experiencing real? I think so. Dreams are real. They induce emotions just like when you're awake. So, just because what you're experiencing is a different plane of existence, I believe doesn't make it any less real. But something I can tell you is I can't tell you what to do.
That's right. And I just stand up and say, thank you. And walk out the door that says... I walk up to the door that says, exit Ragnar only.
As you walk up to the door that says exit Ragnar only, you reach for the handle. And as you grab it, he says, just one last observation, adventurer, before you go.
I don't turn around, but I perk up.
The person that told you not to come here, is he here?
I turn around and look in the bar. Do I see him?
When you turn around, it is empty. Very much The Shining style. You turn around, there is no music. There are no patrons. The fire is dulled down to just embers. Everything is clean and put away. And the only one left there is the bartender.
Are you him?
No, adventurer. You know I'm not real. Or relatively.
Do you know where he's at?
I only know where he isn't. It seems like he occupies your mind when you're awake. Your mind, though, is your own. And it seems in a place like this, you have full control. And where you go, he points to the door, he cannot follow.
I honestly kind of doubt that. I just step to the door.
Be safe, adventurer. Until next time. Next up on the initiative, Perry.
Yeah, I think I catch you trying to throw that. Maybe. That's pretty good, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe I'll slick
Oh,
like
what?
Definitely believe me.
I'm what? Happy.
Clap your hands.
Clap your hands if you feel like. That's all we
I've
can
got
say.
the-
That's all we can say.
And I'm giving it to you.
We have to write our own music, huh? Have something to sing on the stream.
Perry,
Yes.
you find yourself in an area that resembles very much the Feywild.
Yes.
There's a lot of vegetation around you. And one moment.
Gotta find that just perfect kind of music. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
No, I mean.
I don't, actually.
Spoopy.
Turns on polka.
We're getting to the Drider spoke.
The try.
You're good? Anyway, vegetation abounds, all alien to you though. You cannot identify any of it. The motes of light coming through are warm and inviting. The air is clear and you do hear creatures, songbird-esque noises, moving through the underbrush and up in the canopy above. But what has your attention completely focused is the 10-foot-tall, emerald-colored spider lady.
Mm-hmm.
She had given you a warm welcome before revealing her large arachnid lower half, and then folded her legs to sit down, the bends of which rise high above her thorax and then pull in. She looks tired. Beautiful, alien, and spider-like, but tired as she rests. I hope I didn't startle you, she says.
Honestly, I wasn't really expecting anything. I didn't know what to expect. What's your name?
She says, I don't know. I was never given a name. I simply am. I was born here the same way that my children will be born here. And they will live, hunt, and die just like I will.
So life here is existent. It's not just fleeting in the moment when I wake up. You'll still exist.
Well, I suppose that depends on you. If you remember me, then I suppose it won't be a fleeting moment. I guess I will live on in some way. But if I am to die here, giving birth to my children, then that is how it's meant to be. I must admit, though, she says, looking at the ground, I am a little afraid. You see, being born with no real sense of companionship, I've always been alone. And I am dying. And I don't want to die alone. Will you stay with me for my last few moments?
That sounds motive.
You may.
Nat 20.
Just gonna eat your baby.
You feel like there's more to that, but everything she said is true. She is dying. She is afraid. It feels like she's saying, like, something might happen after I die, and that's on you, buddy. There's very much that. You're like, this goes deeper. But in earnest, she is, the one thing I want is just someone to keep me company.
And what's the distance?
That's up to you. She's simply collapsed to the ground and will not approach if you move. I would assume you're not in arm's reach.
Okay, yeah, no, that's where I'd want to be, is away from arms. Like nice 15 feet of distance. I look around for some vegetation that might be flammable, and I start a small fire.
So as you look around, you're like, man, some dry sticks. Oh, they're right there. And it's just like, of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? It doesn't seem odd, but if you were awake, you would be like, that's very serendipitous.
I'm Perry.
There are even stones to create
Perfect.
a border.
And so I cradle a fire, and then I look behind me to sit down on a log that happens to be there, probably. And I'll...
Do you do that on purpose?
I do.
Roll me a will save.
Okay. Oh, that's a 1.
A nat 1?
It sure is.
So you think for a moment. You turn around expecting a log. As you do so, you don't see a log. You see everything that always has been there, which makes sense, but doesn't. Because it's only when you try that it didn't happen. And you start to panic a little bit. Fear ebbs into your heart. And very much like a dream where you're falling, running down a hallway that never gets closer, or fighting somebody that you simply cannot hurt. You feel like you are losing control of where you are. And even though it's a dream, being in a dream that you have no control over means you are subject to chaos. You're a little panicked right now.
That's the same as it was. That shouldn't be happening. I just kind of like sink down.
Are you okay? She says.
Yeah. I am totally fine and in control of everything right now.
She smiles, tilting her head.
long till your children are born? Where are your children?
She touches her stomach. Her flat, not pregnant stomach.
So they just... Do they consume you when they're born?
They will.
Okay. Is this fine?
She says, don't be afraid.
Hmm.
She says it's something we all go through.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well,
mm-hmm.
we all go through.
Right. And there's only one of you?
Here, yes.
Okay. Trying to contemplate like my way out of here. And that I have no control.
You look as if you are in need of comfort just as much as I am.
But the comfort of this fire is just fine.
You're-
Try to spark it.
You're afraid of me, she says. But you're not going to leave me.
I'll stay here. Here. And you can stay there.
She smiles. I understand. I respect your caution, and I appreciate your kindness.
Well, no one should have to be alone in their final moments.
She smiles. We don't have to talk if I make you uncomfortable. Your presence is all I need. What do you do?
I will... Let's see if I still have...
Cast Fireball.
Cast Fireball on this. No.
I choose the clear option.
I will pull out my lyre and start trying to pluck a gentle tune.
So, my ears heard lighter.
Oh.
My brain was like, that is not what he said. And I was like, he said liar.
Yes.
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 Roll me a performance.
For your benefit, I also heard lighter.
12.
12?
I believe so. Yep, 12.
With a 12, it is a very average tune.
Yeah.
You play as well as any copper piece player in a tavern. It is nothing special, but it is sound, it is melodic, it is comforting. And even though it really is nothing special, you do see her take pleasure in the moment. As she just kind of smiles. She shifts herself kind of back in a resting position, her head dipping down and her eyes closed. She is not asleep, but she is just enjoying the moment. You play, how long do you play for?
Yes.
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 You play for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and you feel a small paw press on your arm. Harry, may I talk to you? You don't have to stop playing. I was just been thinking.
Mm-hmm. What is it, Robbie?
I wanted to apologize.
What?
Not telling you about.
Well, you were probably under direct orders from Father.
Yeah.
And he probably had his reasons, considering that
Yeah.
everything that went on. Did he... Tell me what he was like before the key.
Oh, it's astonishing how similar you are.
Really?
Yes. Your father loved to laugh. He loved to laugh, he loved to play. But he wasn't a very clever man, a very intelligent one, but not a exceptionally clever one. Your mother, however, was. She was sly, quick-witted, funny, and the two of them made a good team. You know your father changed. The man that raised you was not the man that I knew.
I had been with him for years, far beyond the life expectancy of any typical ferret. But he told me the world depended on not telling you things. Many things he's kept from me. I know bits and pieces. Your father saw fit to alter my memories after he had changed. So there are pieces that I'm missing. Roll me sense motive.
No, not that one. 22.
With a 22, he's upset. Not upset that he didn't tell you. Upset about what your father had done to him, as if he does resent what happened. He didn't ask my permission. He simply told me it was for the greater good that I didn't know things in case I was ever taken over.
As if his heart was taken out of any decisions.
It affected all of them in different ways. Some of them much more grave than others. But your father, what happened to him affected others. What happened to Alaman was tragic, but it only affected Alaman. What happened to your father affected everyone that cared about him, because he no longer cared about anything. He became hyper-fixated on it. A man of logic and reasoning without an emotional drive.
So you don't think his last moment was to simply save the world and not just protect me? You don't think there was some sort of connection still?
You have to understand, and I know you do, the empathic connection that we share, me as your familiar. You feel what I feel. With your father, it was gone. I was nothing but a pet. I couldn't feel what he felt anymore. I only did what I was told because I had nothing else. What I'm about to say to you, Perry, is true. The day I became your familiar, it felt like a hole was filled. Like something that was missing had been restored to me. And I just wanted to say thank you for letting me be a familiar to a right wizard again.
Wizard, that's so weird. All those years refusing, and here we are. You're more than my companion. You're my friend.
You know, the spider lady's kind of creeping me
Yeah,
out.
she is kind of creepy.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to say.
That's good.
I'm
That's
gonna
good.
see you.
That's
No,
good. We're good. We're good.
I'm allergic to ferrets. Stupid ferrets.
Perfect.
You kind of feel comfortable again.
Yeah.
The feeling of panic has long since gone. You continue to play your lyre. She opens her eyes and she looks up at you and she says, "May I ask you something?"
Sure.
You chose to stay here. Are you afraid of me?
Of you, no. I'm not afraid of you. It's more of the unknown. There's been enough experiences that trust doesn't always turn out great for me.
Then I will tell you this. And I mean this. when my babies hatch, they will consume me, and they will explore the immediate area. They do not hunt. If you do not react, they will not hurt you. That is as much unknown as I can take away from you in this moment. So please, be kind to them as they enter into this world.
Can I call you Emmy?
Her head slowly sinks when you ask that. You see her twitch. You hear this crunching sound. And you see her thorax begin to split open along the back. And a flood of emerald-colored spiders, all about the size of a silver dollar, come pouring out. You hear them skittering over each other in the chittering of tiny legs hitting grass, leaves, wood over her carapace as they begin to swarm her in her entirety, where she is nothing more than just a shifting, moving mass. Her beauty that once was is now gone. Horrific, unfamiliar alien-like visage swallowed up by this. And it takes an uncomfortable amount of time. You could leave if you wanted. What do you do?
I will simply keep strumming. Try taking deep breaths. Staying calm. And just make sure that they do what they do and have a decent start to their life.
You see the mass that was her begin to shift and sink, disappearing. No real gore, no visual of what happened to her, simply disappearing in the mass of new life that she had brought into this world. They begin to flood out, skittering in all directions, and you are no exception. You feel them rush to your feet, running up your pant legs, over your chest and arms, skittering up your bare skin, over your neck and face. You feel them rushing down your shirt. And every bit of you, you see them rush over the bag, but you see that something is holding the bag shut in a panic.
Good.
As they begin to swarm and roll over you, what do you do?
Yes, fireball.
Broken arrow!
There's no sort of damage or anything, right?
That depends.
So it's not really something I have to prepare, but I do have windy escape if they do damage me.
Okay.
Which makes me, it's an instantaneous.
No casting, no toning, no I prepare the spell.
Boom.
It's just kind of like, there's a way out of here.
for that moment.
Dust in the wind.
But I just do my best to breathe through it and just hopefully Emmy's words are true.
As they do so, they don't explore over you very long. They just rush over you and you're just kind of like, And when you steel yourself, you see them scatter out. As you're just kind of... You look down at the neck of your guitar, Lyre, and sitting just above where the strings tighten, you see one of them, and it is a smaller than life version of who she was. It doesn't look like a baby on a spider baby.
Yeah, okay, good.
It looks just like a tiny, beautiful woman on the end of your lyre. And it looks up at you and considers you for a moment, tilting its head in curiosity, before a long silk string connects it to your lyre, and it descends to the ground, and then skitters off. And then the area begins to dissipate and fade away from you.
Well, she'll live on forever because there's no way I'm forgetting that.
I got you, Emmy. This one's for you, Emmy.
I feel
It wasn't a great performance.
So tell me, when your time started?
Oh, we gotta go way back before that.
Tell me about your mother.
She was a spider lady.
And why do you think she was a spider lady?
Because she had 8 legs.
Could have been an octopus.
Patient with insane. Recommend medicine.
She was an arachnid with pedipalps. It was terrifying. You know what getting kissed goodnight was like? Anyway. Let me tuck you in.
Oh my god.
That's cozy.
Yeah, but you're not in bed. You're hanging upside down.
How to keep the silk. Oh, I can't scratch myself.
Oh man.
I would like to apologize. Your thing is coming up, but not right now.
It's okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
As long as
I
he
can live with the dread right now.
As long as he can lay that inevitability.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to kill you still.
No, I have it.
he's got
Yeah.
that.
My bad.
I have the statistics written out. He had to copy them down. Anyway, top of the bottom of the initiative.
Top of the second
Top of the bottom to you.
That was a surprise round.
You all failed.
I feel like you didn't. I almost got it.
Guys, we are serious game players here.
No, we're not.
I have never said those words.
Don't lie
Ever.
to yourself, us, and them. All 4 of them.
We're 3 of them.
They're all in this room.
Of course they are.
Dr. Tone,
How are you doing?
Yeah, sure.
you step into the light, and you feel as if you are rent from your body, as if you are pulled away, and it is a familiar feeling, as if you had done it once before.
Uh-huh.
Only this time, you start to get an understanding that you're not dreaming, nor are you necessarily seeing your past, but a past. A version of you that exists in an alternate reality, maybe? As a man of logic, you're like, I am not dreaming. What I saw was real. I know who I am. And you are once again Daka Isabel.
Oh, no.
However, you stand once again in your laboratory. Oh, I still have it.
Almost black and leathery wings.
Bam!
It's
Skittle-a-bam!
beautiful.
Is it? So much.
You stand in your lab once again, and this feels familiar. Not necessarily good or nostalgic, but familiar.
I've been here before. I don't want to be here.
Oh, yeah. But rather than being like, oh, I saw this in a vision once, you stand at a table and you know what you're doing. You know where you are. Everything else that Dr. Isaac Tone has done no longer dwells in your mind. You are Daka Isabel. Some time ago, you stand in front of a table, a flesh golem variant on the table. A couple of things that make it a flesh golem variant is, one, you have allowed it to retain its class levels from when it was alive. 2, it is a size category smaller than a normal flesh golem.
So medium versus large?
Yes. As if you were able to compact all of those components into a normal-sized humanoid. You are right now in the process of putting on the arms. The arms you are putting on are metallic, with electric nodes that run through them that not only power its life source, but will allow it to strike with electric damage.
That look was, because I know it's an alchemy check to do this. I just saw Dr. Zafal's alchemy checks. Sorry.
There is something in your mind as you're doing this. You are not just making a flesh golem. You are trying to resurrect a living creature. Its soul is not here and cannot be obtained, period, through any internal means, but only through external sources that you have planned. You know that everything outside of this is a demonic realm of chaos and lawful evil. Not chaotic evil, but lawful evil, and it's chaotic. You have found a way to contact an angelic source that may restore this flesh golem with its soul.
An actual thing I figured out how to do when I built this guy. Yep, contact other plane. I have the spell prepared.
Boy, you have thought about this long and hard. The deal that you are willing to make this happen.
A ladybug was flying around the land.
Okay.
And it just landed on Eli's wrist, and Eli was just like, and mine. I watched it all happen.
Did you know that the natural habitat of a house spider is a house, and if you put it outside, it'll die?
So what you're saying is,
What happened before there were houses?
it'll die.
Do you think the day that they made a house, the house spider was just like, you're not going to believe this, guys?
It's finally happening.
There's a wooden place that's completely concealed. It's covered all around.
It's the natural evolution of the cave spider.
He's got you there.
Oh my.
A cave spider just made its way in and it was like, ugh, television.
Texas. Texas.
Domestic lifestyle. Job 9 to 5.
My words are getting better. I speak good now.
Well, good-ish.
Give me 200 years. I'll have perfect
Doing
tattoo.
better.
I speak well.
More better.
More gooder. As you stand over this person, not only is this a project, your logic leading you through the steps, you feel emotionally connected to this. This has to be done. And you're like, I have pushed my emotions away. I am risking everything for this in this moment. The door opens up, and a tall, handsome, and very well-dressed figure walks into your lab.
Is this before or after the hatred?
Considering that this person laying on the table was the same cloaked figure that helped you fight earlier, you believe this is before.
Okay.
Also, you intensely dislike the person that walked in, but you're not actively aggressive towards him.
Correct.
Thestophiles walks into the room, and he looks over at you.
So I'm like mid doing something. I just paused and was like, I see. I'm going to need to pause this.
Working on one of your little pet projects, are you?
One of many. Aren't you?
Always.
Of course.
You are my favorite pet project.
You know I don't like that. What do you need?
What I need is relevant. The Master has summoned you. And he has tasked me to invite you on a little errand. And I have to babysit you.
I'm genuinely perplexed because I feel like that doesn't usually happen. So I'm like, where to?
In the vault. You know that the Zeal have pushed their way into one of the outer rims of the Vault of Ord. We have found a location with a teleportation ritual. but it's being guarded. The creature there has already killed several of the Zeal. And so he has tasked us, his most trusted generals, to deal with it.
And I can just send people. My pets are very good in these kind of situations.
He, the master, thought that you would be interested in what is defending the teleportation pad.
What is that?
We don't know. Philostophiles, though you hate him, is very knowledgeable.
Right, and the fact that he says that I don't know something and he also doesn't know this thing, I'm like, give me 5 minutes to get this packed up.
I'll let the master know you demanded time from him.
I've given him plenty, he can give me 5 minutes.
I'll let him know that.
And it kind of of course he will. I feel like it doesn't matter what I would have said in that moment, he would have given me something snarky, so.
He's just a big bag of snark.
Quite handsome, incredibly so.
But the man wears a nice suit.
He really does. So yeah, I sort of take and it's not 5 minutes, it's closer to 2 because I'm really good at what
But to him, it's an hour and a half.
Correct.
Yeah.
So like 2 minutes, I pack up everything, and I would almost have an enclosed system that seals itself. A very expensive enclosed system that would seal itself. Almost like a prototype of a chamber. Not that I know about that.
So as you step out, he is standing in the doorway waiting for you.
So how are we to get to this location?
He begins to cast teleport.
I just hold out my hand.
He grabs you by the wrist. The air around you rushes to occupy the space that once was. That sinking feeling enters into your chest, and then the air disperses as an object that wasn't in space is suddenly now in space. As you appear in this area, the ground beneath you is loamy, fertile soil, unworked by mortal hands. No farms or towns or anything as rich and as nutrient as it possibly could be. You do know, however, you're in the Vault of Orv. The Vault of Orv is deep beneath the surface, miles below the ground. As deep as the first dwarves were before Skyfall. As you appear, you look up at the cavernous walls that stretch up before you. This is a sight unseen on the surface world. Mountains and cliffs and things like that are impressive in their own way, snow-capped and such. This rises up 2 miles into the air and domes out. In the center of this area, there is a crystal that shines with a purplish light, baking everything in an odd violet color. So it's as bright as day, but like you're like, oh, I'm looking through hummingbird ultraviolet eyes. It's crazy. The vegetation here again would be alien to anyone that wasn't familiar with Vault of Orv. You are, however. You look around. What's your knowledge nature?
Oh, 24.
Yeah, you're like, I know it. Oh, yeah, I ate that once.
Would not do it.
This area, the Master has sent the Zeal to occupy. They have met with some resistance of the creatures that exist here, and you do know the Master is looking for something. You see into this wall, there is a door. Nothing else. You do, with your alchemical knowledge, you can feel the magic, the residual magics of an area, and you do know that this had been cloaked by an illusion spell. It was in such plain, open sight, it's genius that it was hidden here. Right under your nose kind of thing. So the fact that the Zeal had found it is kind of impressive to you. Not mindless, but brutish creatures. You're like, good for them. The door is cracked open, and you do see blood rolling out from the open door.
What color might this blood be? I immediately black.
Blood colored.
Yes.
I'm gonna say green.
Amos was giving me like it.
No, not black blood, but green. Green blood.
So, taking a moment, like Dr. Isaac told us, it's not immediately rushing in. It's he observes his surrounding area. Specifically, I would immediately go, what do I know? I don't know planar magic. I know natural stuff and arcana. I would go, what natural creatures do I know that would have a greenish blood about them?
I will go ahead and give you this, because you are familiar with what's going on and what it is. You do know that that is Zil blood.
Okay.
So the Zil have gone into this area, and something has moided them.
Do I know how the handsome man fights?
Yes, you are aware of some of the abilities he has. You do know he is a demon, but beyond that, you do not know what he is. He has been very good to keep that close to his chest. You do know he's very entitled, that the only person that gives him orders is the master. So, there's a demigod giving him orders, and nothing in between.
I feel like I'm also that same way.
Yeah, except he gives you orders. And that's why you resent him. That's one of the many reasons you resent him. You do know, however, he does have a limited arsenal of magic, but it's very powerful. He's not only magic, but he does rely mostly on his magic. So.
I asked because I rely on someone being in base combat to get those rogue sneak dice.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, he doesn't care.
I know he doesn't.
And he doesn't want to get his hands dirty.
Keep looking over.
We're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I am. Take a moment. I start getting myself buffed up because all my spells last so long enough that I can get. By the time I get there, I will be at full strength. Suggesting to Festophilus to do the same.
He does nothing.
I didn't expect him to. And I start with flight heading over there.
Oh, you're right at the door.
Oh, well, still.
As if he has already been there and he knew exactly where to go.
Right. But when just flying into them because I don't want to be immediately in like Zeal range.
I got you. Whatever happened to these guys?
I want to be so I'm like 20 feet in the air going into the room.
Hey. However, the room has a 30-foot ceiling. It is very high. When you bust through the door and you go up into the air, where do you fly to?
Just 5 feet in the door.
So you bust in and you up.
Yeah.
Festophilus does a neat little walk-in.
Swaggers in.
As swaggery as he could be.
Swiggity swaggity.
So he's the Rizzler.
Eli doesn't describe someone as being a handsome gentleman without him being, some level of riz is there.
Resinger.
Yeah, sure.
When you bust in and fly up into the air, you see this laboratory. Very similar to yours, but a pang of jealousy washes over you. Because whoever had created this lab has been able to utilize technology and magics that you have never thought of using. Far more advanced than anything you'd ever seen before. The area thrums with a mixture of electric energy, mechanical pulsing, and magics that feel wholly unique to you. Along with In the vein of unique, a creature stands in front of a glowing sigil at the far end with 3 Tesla coils to either side of it in a triangular pattern. This creature standing there has its back to you and turns to regard you. It stands 10 feet tall and is quadrupedic. It has these long legs that bend backwards beneath this kind of insectoid-like torso or abdomen. But the feet they're more like hands. They grip the stone beneath them with 6 digits that look like they could reach up and grab if they wanted to. And they have 4 more arms on their upper body that is vaguely humanoid, but it is shaped like it has the carapace of an insect with a large kind of mushroom-like capped head. You see 2 large insect-like eyes and a mouth very similar to like a cicada, with no moving parts, no way to look as if it could consume or eat or even speak. It turns to look at you as you and Phistopheles walk into the room. You see several dead Zill bodies, probably a baker's dozen's worth. And considering that they're all CR6, that's no small feat to kill a baker's dozen of them. This creature turns. It looks old, wounded, and worn. It looks pale and sick. As it looks to you and Phistopheles, you hear a voice enter into your mind, and you realize that it is speaking to you telepathically. As it does so, it says, "Leave." I'm sorry. Leave. You do not need to be here.
And you did not need to kill so many of the Zeal.
Oh, but I did. They attacked me. They don't understand what lies beyond the seal.
And what would that be?
The end of the material plane as we know it.
And I'm speaking out loud, so Phistopheles can hear me as well. I don't know if he's also receiving the same.
You get a feeling that he is. But this thing is regarding both of you.
And everything is in this. That is extremely vague. More description. Or I mean, the handsome man down here will have to end you.
We are older than anything else living on this planet. We are the first, the ancient. We have brought magics and technology to all living creatures. We only sought to help everyone. We have only sought to care for other living creatures. But we extended our reach far too long past this world, past this realm of existence, and something came back with us. We have locked it away.
So you are the reason that the material plane, or this plane is threatened? I don't know if I would say material plane.
We are. And we have paid for it with our lives.
Uh-huh.
We, he touches his chest, are the last.
How many of you are there?
We are the only one.
Oh. I kind of look at Phistopheles and get like a vibe from him.
He like tilts his head like that's not how plural works.
I kind of...
You also know he doesn't value a unique and individual creature.
I don't think Daka Isabel does either.
Mm-hmm. You?
Yeah, right?
Phil?
At this point, at some point I would have landed, realizing there was an immediate threat and danger.
Mm-hmm.
So, to give myself some more details before I go report back to the giant bat that, you know, there's a guy stopping him from getting all of this stuff. What is behind that particular seal?
The threat beyond the stars.
You said this before. The details. I look at Phistopheles when I say this. The devil is in the details.
We cannot describe it.
we that saw it broke our minds, and so we all saw it. We all felt it. We all shook at the sight of it. We, the few left to seal it away, gave our lives to do so. We know what it can do, but we cannot describe what it is.
What can it do? I don't think you understand how in danger you are. Because if the bed is sitting the two of us, it means he's. The next step is him coming himself, and you don't want that.
We have all died to seal it away, and we are willing to die to keep it sealed away. What you could do to us is infinitesimally insignificant compared to what it can do to everything. Well, we have a mission, Ostophiles says, and you have a job. I suggest you do what you do. Besides, he looks around. I bet you'd love to get your hand on all this equipment and even tear this thing apart to decide what it is.
You know I hate it when you're right and I go invisible.
The creature begins looking around the room, and I will need a roll for initiative. From Just Stock It Is a Thought.
You gotta state these things.
I
man.
actually have positives to my dexterity here. Like,
Wait, hang on.
like an actual positive initiative modifier.
Is it 1?
No, I rolled a 2.
Wonderful.
He stole all your good luck.
No.
Ironic.
What is your positive? Like, is it a +1?
I don't want to say
Okay, so 12.
6 of it.
Wow, you
Four.
surprised
A
this
four.
thing and you still go last.
I'm gonna take my time.
That spell I cast, by the way, was greater invisibility.
You're
Neat.
invisibility.
I am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nailed it.
Are you sure about that?
Nice try.
Oh, gosh.
Is it still going last?
Philostophiles got a 33 on his initiative.
Jeez,
it?
criminy.
Wow.
Those are rookie numbers. Y'all are level 15. Don't even.
At least.
At minimum
Yeah, and
17.
Eli has 2 of us fighting one thing. That's the scary part.
This thing's a CR like 30. I guarantee it.
I also have a rage like effect because reasons.
I have those.
You turn invisible. When you do so, this thing kind of like shifts. It looks down at Philostophiles. He's going to hold his turn. He crosses his arms and leans against the wall. The thing... You said you are 5 feet in the air?
20.
I did declare I landed.
Oh, so you're right next to Philostophiles? Oh, this is not... Okay, great.
Let's hope you wake up from that dream.
The thing...
There it is.
Does a 25 hit your touch AC?
Oh, jeez. Yes.
Barely.
A 25 would hit my regular AC.
So it barely dodges touching.
I would like a reflex save.
I'm trying to have things.
Is that 20 to whatever you roll?
You're not close. 29.
29 will save. You're going to take half of this.
No, it won't.
Stop. This is gonna take the other half.
No, it hit Philostophiles.
100.
Yeah, his touch isn't great. Where's my dice app? Dice app, you failed me. Everybody,
How many do you need?
everybody's waiting. I need 12d6.
Good.
I
Gravy,
have 1.
man.
Thanks.
You're helping.
I gave him a 6. You should have kept it.
Thank
but
you.
Whatever.
Always count on the not rogue.
You always play the rook.
You are
8, 10, 11, 17, 22, 24, 27, 33, 34, 35, 36.
So half of 36.
Half of 36.
18.
Yeah.
What kind of damage?
It is a psychic blast.
Oh.
Emotional
Sonic.
damage.
It extends out its hand in a cone, wraps around you and Phistopheles as it. Phistopheles tanks the hit. He's going to try to. Oh, yeah, okay, he got above a 3. So, it washes over him and he kind of like winces as it does the 16 points damage. You do see him start to heal immediately as the thing.
I also will start to heal on my turn.
Daka, you're up.
I immediately heal 10.
Gross. With it.
What I do. I fly around to behind it while invisible, greaterly so.
Do you give it a wide berth or do you just?
I have the fly speed. I can give it that wide berth.
Okay. So, I assume you,
Base
because
combat.
it's a large creature, you give it 10 feet.
I'm in base combat.
So you don't give it a wide berth.
No, sir.
I go widely around it, and then I fly into its backside.
Okay. It turns around and it swings at you.
Neat.
We can see you.
Or it has mental sense.
It can sense him.
So that's still a percentage miss?
Yeah. It knows he's there.
It's a good thing you have your percentile.
It turns around, it swings. It's a wild, wide swing that is telegraphed. You duck underneath it as it over the top of your head.
So when I do my feral mutagen transformation, I gain 2 claws and a bite attack. So I'm going to lean into one of the bite attacks. That is a 27.
27 will not strike your
I'm
opponent.
sorry. 28.
28 will strike your opponent.
Oof.
And we need to roll an 11.
That means that it has more than a 50% chance of not getting it.
Do I get sneak damage?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Because it's in its special abilities.
Fair. 12. I'm sorry.
You have sleep.
That's for him to know.
When
and
you like
Mind your own gosh dang business.
So that's 12 slashing. And then 7, I think it's electric. I will double check.
So altogether 20? I'm sorry.
12, 13, 6, 19.
19?
No, it's bludgeoning. I had 2d8 bludgeoning. So, I don't know if that matters.
You run up, you slice into it. When you do so, it tanks the hit, and it doesn't look like it did as much damage as you were hoping it would. It looks down where you hit it and then back up at you.
Do you take any other actions?
You may.
Thank you. But no.
It is then going to full round attack you.
Okay, it has a 50% less chance on top of being invisible.
Yeah. No.
No.
No. No.
Oof.
Yes.
That's more like 45% chance.
How many attempts did he get?
4.
Wow, that was a high
does
number
a
to count.
38 hit you?
Oh, yeah.
Stopped at 4. That didn't mean that.
Well, he only gets 40. He would have killed one of those.
Dealing 10 points of damage. As it swings, you shoot to either side, flapping your wings to deftly dodge this thing before it strikes you hard across the shoulder. Probably not doing as much damage as it hoped it would. It is now your turn.
Fireball.
Does a 50% less chance stack? Like if I have 50% miss chance from invisibility plus 50% miss chance from displacement.
I'm going to say no, because both of those are sight-based, and so if it can't see your displacement...
Okay.
Wow, that's a really good reason.
Why'd you say that sarcastically?
Because he's the god of this world. He can just do whatever he wants.
He doesn't have to come up with a reason
Yeah.
what you're saying.
But it makes perfect sense.
My parents always told me, because I said so.
Yeah, and you don't ever listen to them.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Now.
I'm gonna do it. Yep, I'm just going to full on
Much older.
barrage attack him.
I
That's
know.
only a 21.
No.
Yeah. Wish I had improved critical. That is a 35.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to do damage individually?
Yes. You good, buddy?
Me?
Yeah, you.
18.
Yeah.
I hit because it's between the 11 and the 19.
You may.
I just missed frog.
Get some Garbo damage dice. 11. I healed him one.
You do 11 damage?
Yeah. It did 10. I healed him. So.
You are not doing as much damage to this thing as you were hoping.
The things I fight usually don't have damage.
It's going to take a free 5-foot step away from you.
But why?
Go really wind up.
It casts Dispel. And that is 11 plus the spell's caster level.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that would be what for DC?
26.
26.
Uh-huh.
The DC 26 to this one.
Okay. He extends his hand. It hits, and your magics are able to withhold as the dispel fizzles.
Solid attempt. Hey, Phistopheles, can you try something, bud?
Go, Daka, go.
Bardic inspiration?
No, the exact opposite, as a matter of fact.
Vicious mockery.
Me?
Yeah?
Oh. Ooh wee.
I was supposed to have been doing more damage.
Oh, get it then.
Just tack on like 50 at the end of the next one.
I forgot how many dice I rolled.
What are you using?
A lot of bow spells. Yeah, so I'm adding a d6. Because I do acid damage that causes it to continually take acid damage. But I'm going to roll to hit. Probably not. That one. And I move 5 feet closer. And no.
Cool.
Whiff, 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 whiff. Whiffing.
This reminds me of last night.
We don't need to hear about your sex life.
Whoa. Does a 33 hit you?
Just 50% miss.
You and your stupid...
Why?
I'm invisible.
Yes! Ha!
Yes!
Dealing 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Ow.
Get punched.
So I heal 1 effectively over the turn?
This is wonderful. I love everything about this.
I don't know what's even going on. Like they hit each other, nothing happens.
In his defense, he's trying.
Wait, hang on.
Ah! The spell doesn't work. Your turn. It's going to have to try to something new. It's fine.
That is a 28.
That'll hit.
That is higher and a miss.
You also see this thing start to heal.
I also start to
This is the fight that never ends.
Terrace just said this is a nerd open hand slapping contest.
16 on that first hit.
Okay.
My choice is holographic.
Much better. There you go, dice. 23 on the second hit.
Damage?
5 feet closer. Is Fistopheles within 5 feet of it?
He's in base combat with it.
So I get sneak dice now.
If he's threatening it.
Is he?
Nope.
Say no.
I need a friend.
And you expected it from him?
No.
You're not gonna get that until 1,000 years
So
after
can you
this.
move me diagonally 5 feet to where if Fistopheles decided he wanted to try something, he could?
Okay.
I do have an innate fly speed outside of the wings. I do go 5 feet in the air.
Okay. You do anything else?
That's me.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright, let's try something else.
Yippee! I'm about to be rude.
I've never tried this before, but Meteor Sword.
I have a potion of meteor sword?
I don't know what it does.
Six win.
I
Why?
didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast Tactical Nuke.
Tactical nuke inbound.
I had to kill 25 things before this.
Surprisingly, not that hard.
You can't do it. I keep dying for it.
Because I need something that threatens me.
None of these have.
This is gonna be the best match ever.
Just make something up.
He doesn't know what you have. Just Meteor Swarm him.
Listen, half my alchemist level.
Kills him too, right? Is that how this ends? Use explosion.
I don't have bombs.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh,
Self-destruct, that's what I was trying to think of.
to 2 demon king that are resistant to fire.
Yeah, cast Fireball. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I hate everything.
Level equal to my ceiling. Or my. Oh no.
I warmed some popcorn up and I had to reheat it for this fight.
Alright. I need a.
I'll roll it for you.
Will save?
I can do it for
5-foot step. I need a will save.
Available.
And plus. Oh, Will is my lowest. That's only an 18.
Ooh!
Is this something he has to be able to see
He got
him
so
to do?
excited.
He knows where I'm at.
But if it specifically says target, then if he can't see, you can't do it.
What is?
If he can sense it.
I'm looking at oozes.
But it's
There's
not
some oozes with some
Able to
weird
target
names.
him, he can just know.
Fine, then I'm just gonna psychic blast. Give me a reflex. Wait. No, I gotta hit your touch.
My touch is in the 10s.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, I hit you.
I feel like you said a 4 at the beginning.
Reflex?
It's 27.
That saves. 16, 21, 25, 28, 29, 30, 31, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41.
Half the 20.
Yes. As he just shoots in that area. When he does so, this tank busts open and the liquid begins to rush out as he... Your turn.
Oh,
Cool thing is, he can just do that like every turn. It's just a thing you do.
Good heavens.
I take a 5-foot fly backwards to where I'm 10 feet from him.
Bank.
Yeah.
Bank.
Yeah, there.
8 points.
I don't know where I would have got this, so I'm not going to use that. He was a Protos Shoggoth ooze.
Delicious.
Bless you.
Thank you. I am sorry.
I'm sorry.
murder.
Just cast murder.
I can give you
On
like
yourself.
I can give you 4 people who are really good at doing some destructive damage.
I
Can I?
cast myself off the bridge.
That's good.
Womp womp.
You know, I'm just gonna do this one because it's the best one. Yeah. Okay. So taking that step back. How much damage am I taking while I was? I am going to throw a bottle that's about yay big that's filled with this weird greenish, like miasma-like liquid. I'm specifically throwing it behind it.
Okay.
Eli, could you please put down for me a medium-sized blue token? As I summon a Proto-Shoggoth ooze.
Something I can hit.
It is going to get 4 attacks.
Okay. Coming at me, bro.
That one.
I'ma punch it! Get punched! Oh god! Crit threat, 43? Does that hit?
Oh yeah.
10, 13, 26?
Okay.
You punched, little gob!
It also does not do as much damage as you thought it would.
Just give a wedgie.
Get punched again! Crit threat! 9. 12. 24.
His touch?
What?
Against his touch?
No.
For
He rolled
this
another
thing-
nat 1.
Yeah, I've rolled 2 nat ones.
So he's just punching this thing.
Another, how much, I'm sorry?
24.
24.
Yeah.
This thing does still looks extremely healthy. That is a, I think it was a 30 to hit
30 will strike.
and a 28.
28 will strike.
Dealing 9 points of damage.
Nothing happens.
Okay, and then does a 28 grapple.
I didn't expect that. No.
Okay, the next attack is a 14. I hit it. The second attack that hit
Did 14.
did 14 points of
okay.
damage.
That does do some damage.
And then only a 23 to grapple.
No.
If I roll high enough,
Mm-hmm.
that grapple will be scary.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally healed him.
Mm-hmm.
I will move into attack range, provoking. I'm getting 5 again.
And give inspiration to the monster.
It does have combat reflexes.
Uh-oh.
50-50.
You want to just punch it?
Yeah, sure.
Get an extra punch in there. I'm not even going to roll the percentile.
32 to hit.
Mm-hmm. These dice suck.
You even went and got them. Just
Yeah, I
in
know.
time.
15.
They got a little skull in them.
24,
Yeah, that was
30 points of damage.
Ow!
Yay! Now do that again, because you just hit him again.
Yeah, it hurt.
I am hasting.
Wonderful.
No, he gave you a free hit because you rolled.
Yeah, that was a free hit. This is.
Oh, but me summoning an ooze was my action. So I summoned the ooze and then moved it ready to attack.
Got it. And you got free to. Do you take any other actions?
I am action down.
Okay.
I thought it was a different turn.
I'm back to Boris Hammerlock's level of turns. Or level of actions. You could just punch it.
No. Fast as he.
That's
a cool thing.
You can teleport.
I found the fastest way to get rid of something is to just fireball yourself.
We're on a roll tonight.
Hey, because he rolled.
Nah, it's a role playing.
I can't.
Did he hit him?
No, he didn't. Okay. So Thistophiles starts to dash out around. This thing turns around and punches Thistophiles in the face, and you see his hand just stop flat on Thistophiles' head, just kind of like boom, and he just continues running, seemingly unfazed by that. He gets to the other side of the room. He casts Quicken Fireball. It shoots, and it's going to explode right around all of you, and I need a reflex save from you and your little guy.
Literally just takes the littlest match.
Littlest.
It's more little.
That's how big the room
For
was. I
the
said I
ooze,
cast
it's a
fireball.
27. For me, it's higher.
Both of those will succeed. First explosion, you take half of 27.
Oh, that's what you were doing?
23. Yeah. 23. You take 23. I'm sorry. You take 13 points of damage.
I was about to question your math.
Because I have DR.
Uh-huh. There is another explosion.
Because there was a barrel standing right behind you.
You take 19 of that damage.
Fire.
Yes. That is half. It's already half.
Oh!
Yeah.
Owie.
Yes, I know.
I know he doesn't care, but owie.
He fires the two fireballs. They zip around, slamming amongst all of you, exploding, shattering the glass of the tanks and the lights by the door. Firing gulfs all of you, and this creature roars out, throwing all of its arms up to try to defend itself. Its hand slams on the ground, and you see it begin to burn and scorch as it is struggling. It stands back up to regard you as it continues to push itself and is determined to fight until death.
I kind of have just like this blank look in my face, and I was like, you could aim those a bit better.
Wonderful.
As he knows the ooze is. The ooze isn't my ally, it is just another enemy on the board.
Oh, you don't control it?
Nope.
Just don't put it near you and you're fine.
Yeah, that's why I threw it on the other side of the bug creature.
This thing doesn't have many offensive spells, and that makes me sad.
It's going to turn around and punch your jelly.
Bring it, nerd.
Jelly punch.
Jelly punch. Okay, get punched. 29,
Hits.
27,
Hits.
34,
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
I didn't roll above a 10 the whole time. These die are rough.
Would you like to
Oh,
try
I'm
ducks?
sorry.
We should roll in a
I
different
forgive
medium.
you.
The ooze has fire resistance.
9 for the first hit. 12 for the second hit. 9 for the third hit. 9 for the fourth hit. Punch, 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 punch.
You only did 19 points of damage.
Hit Montana.
I don't know why it was so funny.
It's because he doesn't play Pokemon. He knows what a Hitmonchan is.
The ooze is going to slam repeatedly into this thing.
Pulls up a folding chair.
31 to hit.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Yes.
13 points of damage. Ooh, maybe. Does a 36 grapple.
No.
50.
I have to roll in that 20 for this ooze to grapple this guy.
Mm-hmm.
33.
They hit?
Yeah.
That will.
Max damage of 14.
Delicious.
Only a 23.
The hit will not.
And 1 point higher, so 24.
No. Now you get your sneak attack.
No, it's not an ally.
But it is threatening.
It's an ally.
You have to be an ally to be flanked. Gross.
Apparently. I cast command. Be my ally.
Nat 20.
No.
Yes, power word ally.
I turn into that eagle from Angry Birds. No.
So nat 20, 32 to confirm.
Yes.
Whoa! Whoa!
So much die.
5, 10, 18, 36 plus 6, 42.
You stop that. He doesn't even know I'm talking to him.
For my second turn. I roll it out of the check. 32 to hit.
Yes.
Some of this is acid damage, if that matters.
Is he?
No, he's not.
Okay.
22.
Even if he was, he wouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Only 24. I healed him.
Shane just took his shirt off. That's why.
That is exactly what happened.
And if you subscribe to our Patreon, you can see that.
Subscribe to our Patreon, where we show you all the cameras all the time.
I'm just saying, but the best element is.
Were those words?
The best element
Oh,
of
does it
confusion
not?
is
I stand
what?
corrected.
That's
You
what
would
you
have
have to
to
read.
the best element of confusion is the element
Hey,
of confusion.
Manzarek
is,
corrected me. I thought it had to be an ally.
Manzarek's reaching beyond the planes.
The tree.
He says it just says threatened by another enemy character or creature. It doesn't say anything about an ally.
So sneak could.
Yeah.
I like how you're listening
But
to the
you-
child.
Yeah, well, you already defeated it, so.
Oh, second. Yeah.
So, what are you attacking with again? A whip?
2 claws and bite. Oh, delicious.
You slice into this thing. It throws up its massive multiple arms. As you rip and tear, you see this otherworldly kind of blood eep out from its wounds as it folds and drops, supporting itself on one hand. It's making that wheezing noise. It looks up at you, and again in your head you hear, "We cannot express the importance of closing that gate. We need you to believe us. Everything on this plane." Suddenly you see Phistopheles' hand run through its chest. He reaches out and he rends it into 2 different pieces. Its head drops to the ground, one of its arms skids across as he holds up its heart.
Kind of like a noise. For someone who doesn't like to get dirty,
He's clean.
oh, I know exactly what you did.
He throws you the organ. Says, "Why don't you add these 3 pieces to your collection?" He walks past them.
I hold open my bag of holding. I do, in fact. Avoid the ooze, by the way.
Those are the 3 parts you found in the rats.
Gross. I wasn't paying attention, sorry.
As Junior.
Ding!
And then you see Strahd. Who? Strahd.
The name's
Go on. This is the first time we met him.
No, it's not. It is definitely not. Multiple times.
I think there's a campaign about that.
Yeah, descent into
No, it's
Oh, beef stroganoff. It's delicious.
It's a Stradman argument.
Strahd
I
is a
felt
profe-
astronomy.
Strahd is a professional chef, and you have to outcook him. His best dish is beef stroganoff.
Mine are also yours.
I like how I try to
man.
give you one and you try to give me more back.
I need that spin-off game now.
Hasbro.
You have to outcook Strahd.
Welcome to Hell's Kitchen.
You can't call it the
I'm sorry.
knife layer in Hell's Kitchen.
not a sponsor.
Gordon Ramsay's there, and he's arguably more frightening.
But after watching Gordon, you can join us for a special
You
session.
could sponsor it.
You could feed us.
You made that joke right when I went to take a drink of water.
I asked for a nat 20, and you give me a 1? Garbage!
Sorry.
I felt that.
Sorry, Chef.
Oh man.
Yes, chef.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
He cast dominate person. Cook something! Yes, chef!
Oh, that'd be a character to play.
I want to make a character that is just Gordon Ramsay. If he watches this and is upset about it, I'd be like, hey, Gordon Ramsay watched our show.
That wasn't on my bucket list.
A bard?
Yes.
He'd be something.
He'd be an alchemist.
Yeah,
She cooks are alchemists.
he multi-classes.
Okay, I can work with that.
You don't have that many shows without having high charisma.
Artificer and alchemist.
He has a high intimidate. Anyway. Bro. This YouTube channel is garbage. He reaps the creature asunder. He says, put that in your little black bats. He walks up to the Tesla coils and he's looking over them. He steps inside the sigil, and typically that, or just knowing how to teleport, the sigil would take you somewhere. What do you get taking 10 on alchemy?
49.
You know that, well, firstly, you know that the alchemical creations around and the Tesla coils have to do with powering the sigil. You would also know with that score that Phistopheles does not know that. And he is simply trying to magic his way through it and nothing is happening.
I kind of give him a second to like try to do something with it. Looks like you need me after all.
Firstly, I don't need anything. Secondly, open the gate.
Are you sure you want to?
What I want is relevant. The master has ordered us to.
And I do hesitate as if like I know I'm bound to do the thing he tells me to do, but I'm like, this isn't a good idea. And I say that as I go to manipulate the lab in such a way that it does open the seal.
Okay, roll me an alchemy check.
47.
47?
Do I have a lab? Because it does give bonuses if you're in a lab.
Oh yeah, this is a lab. So you walk over to one of the Tesla coils, you look it over, you see the chemical compounds and the magic that is pulsing through it. You begin to work it over and you realize it's not a matter of what you do with your hands to get it to work. It's a matter of imbuing certain magics into it. And those types of magics are within your capability. So you understand how this works, even though it's not meant or built for you. You kind of finagle it into working. And you hear it. I need a second one. Which one do you go to after that?
So
This one or this one?
back.
This one? That one?
The back.
This one?
A 2. So a 41.
Neat. He literally can't fill this.
Well,
Last one.
Well,
rolls a 1.
he literally can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fail.
That's a pretty cool effect to get there.
And I purposely stand outside where the three Tesla portals meet.
You feel this thrumming energy. He looks it over. This triangle of electricity shoots out from each of the Tesla coils and begins to float overhead. The sigil on the ground pulses with that same magical energy that you are not familiar with. Once those Tesla coils are activated, it is outside of your realm of expertise. What do you get with taking 10 or Arcana?
34.
Okay, never mind. This blue triangle appears about 10 feet high and then opens up. After you, he says.
So folding my wings, stacking my head so that I don't get shocked by the Tesla coils. I really do hate you sometimes. And I step through the triangle.
He follows after you. You feel this rush wash over you, and you start to panic. You are normally a man of logic, and so things to you that is supposed to be frightening to other people aren't to you. Because you're just like, what's Horse going to do, kill me? This is different. It is that same deep terror that you got when you first came to the tree. It is that same fear you had in the Kobold Cave when you saw the diamond. It is that fear of the Master coming to you and hurting you in ways and taking things from you in ways that no real mortal could imagine. You begin to, and you know it's all going to happen again. It's all starting again, and there's nothing you could do about it, and then suddenly it goes away. You feel, it's kind of like an intense pain that is suddenly taken from you. As if you had broken an arm, and then that pain was just gone. And you are suddenly fine. As you open your eyes, you realize you are in another area. This area has a large hearth in front of the curtained doorway. This hearth has a gentle fire rolling through it. You see the brightly colored tiles interlaid with the stark white porcelain tiles. You see massive pillows, like 10 by 10 pillows. They're huge, massive, big pillows. I don't know if I can stress that enough. With smaller pillows lining the walls and floor of the entire area. Benches with ornate designs and silk comforters line the wall. Curtains decorate every 5 feet along the walls, and glowing blue crystals whoop, 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 light up the area in a very gentle and comforting light. You see a staircase that leads up to probably the most extra bed you have ever seen in your life. Silk sheet curtains, massive in size as you can tell. Pillows that look like they cost way more than anything should ever spend on pillows. And even a large tome laying on the cushion. As you open your eyes, you kind of take all this in and you turn, and it's kind of like, wow, and it's right there. It is here. And it is the Baku, as described before. Its trunk hanging down, its tusk coming off to the side. It's about 5 feet long and about 2 feet tall. It has clawed hands, a lion-like tail, very soft and plushy kind of white fur that comes down in like long strands, long silken strands. It is floating off of the ground, and its eyes are pink. But when you look at them, you realize they're not supposed to be pink. They're bloodshot. He has large tusks that come out with jewels, beads, and bracelets and necklaces hanging off of them. You see he has a piercing in each of his ears. As he floats there and he looks down at you. Hello, my name's Baku.
So I immediately look at my wrist.
You see both of the chains. Baku the Baku. How are you doing?
Great.
Wonderful. He's having a bad dream, but I woke you up from it.
I appreciate that.
Well, I ate it.
Oh,
It was delicious.
well, that's good. I'm glad. Do I still like vividly remember everything that happened?
Oh yeah. So much so that you may take one ability from your former class and add it to Isaac Tone as if you had the same levels in that special ability. And it will continue to level up with you.
Oh no.
Yay!
Whoa.
There are no two rogues in the party.
Wait a minute, he's not a rogue.
I'm not a
Yeah,
rogue.
he's not a rogue.
He's not a rogue as much as I'm not a rogue.
You're not a rogue. I think you're more rogue than I am then. The one ability,
Well,
not like one class, right?
Correct. He is not that class,
that is
but
a
an
specific
ability from
the
that class.
Okay.
Yes.
Taking sneak then.
I mean, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not settled on that, but that's probably the one I'm going to go for.
It's not very often you see somebody having someone else's dream.
Echoes are weird.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Sid.
You may. You can do whatever you want.
I don't know how to feel about this character.
So imagine I was looking at Fistopheles, the guy I hate. I was talking to Isabel, and then I just see that. I sit down.
And with that, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a little while. Bye-bye.
Tiddles.